Hi everyone, and welcome back to Ticker Tactics. So today what I wanted to go over is what is better, being a long-term investor or being a day trader? So these are two different things that I find you have to realize what kind of trader, investor, a stock, how you analyze stocks. So today what I'm going to be going over is I am just going to show you, do a quick video. I'm going to show you these stocks here. So as you can see, we've got Nvidia Tesla. So Tesla, if we look at the 1 year chart. So let's look at the 1 year chart. So there's a few things to say about long-term investing and short-term trading. So I think that short-term traders they manage to get the euphoria of going through um, short-term gains. So you have to know how to read the market. You have to know how to get in at the right time, how to get a good entry point. You have to know how to read the graphs. Um, you have to know how to read earnings. You have to know exactly the macro sentiment in the markets at that particular moment. You have to know so much stuff that long term, that short term investing, it does. The fact that you're trading these stocks it does take that knowledge to actually do it and do it correctly. Because there's a stat that 85% of day traders don't make profit. Why is that? Well, basically because they try to get that quick term gain. They try to get the euphoria of earning that little bit of money, even though that they pay a fee, obviously, every time they try to quick trade. The only way you can quick trade and earn money and money and money if you know the markets, which is one. Two, if you're trading a lot of money to a fact that even if, say, this stock now, the Tesla is at 272 right now. Say I invested this at 272 right now, then it's gone up 0.6 points, 0.17, 0.20. So I would have cashed out at that 0.20. If you would have put $10,000 on that, then you would have probably earned about 200. That is how you um you short-term trade. If I would have put 100, then I would have probably not made anything from that. But as you can see, this stock is probably gonna fall from that 20. Look, 28, 39, 37, 39, 37, 38, 25. Then it's dropping, 27. So these are the two most traded stocks. So Tesla and Nvidia. Nvidia today's got has taken an absolutely massive drop because of the China environmental troubles that they're having. But Nvidia is one of the largest companies in the world. It will definitely contour these problems. But what I would do, see, if you got days like today, this is where people will short. This is when people will sell. They got the news. It broke out at roughly about 9. So they got the news around 9. It spiked up and then it just dropped all the way to the floor. It just dropped. So now it looks like it's bottoming out around 1390. What I like to do, what I am, is a long-term trader. Why do I say this? Well, let's take examples of these two stocks that I'm showing you here. If we zoom out a year, so even with all of this volatility, you're still up 23% on the year with Nvidia. If you would have got in a year ago today, you're up 23% on your money. So for me, that is definitely a plus. If you're up 23% on your money, then you should be patting yourself on the back for that. Tesla, let's have a look. If we go a year out on Tesla, even with this massive dip that Tesla have had, which is absolutely massive, by the way. I'm talking about nearly $500 a share. It went up to $281 and it went all the way down to 220. Now it's at 270. It's bouncing back, but still, Even with all of that volatility, he's still up 54%. Long-term investors beat short-term traders. This is something that I have to emphasize on. You will always win if you're a long-term trader, if you believe in the stocks you have. Let's say something a bit more, let's say something a bit more speculative. So D-Wave Quantum. So this is one of the pure quantum stocks. If we look at it here, so with D-Wave Quantum, if you got in a year ago on D-Wave Quantum, you probably got in around $2. It basically went down, 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 bottomed out over the summer, then came back to about that $2 around November, and then it absolutely went parabolic and shot up all the way to 10. Then what happened? DeepSeek and Jensen Huang saying that quantum computing is not going to happen as soon as people thought. So it went all the way down to $3. Then it stagnated, went down a bit with the market, and then they had their earnings report when QBTS came out saying that something that would take a normal computer 10,000 years to do, this quantum chip that they put in the computer, they managed to do it in 30 minutes. That's how amazing these products are. And it shot all the way up, which is understandable, from $5 all the way up to about $11, and now it tanked a little bit to 8, and now it's tanking a little bit again. But the thing is with these stocks, if you get in early on these stocks, let's put another one. Let me give you an example on, let's think about something else. Let's think about quite a big stock. Let's say Amazon. So if we look at Amazon, it took a big hit today, obviously. If we look at the year on Amazon, it's pretty much the same thing. If you got in at a very good point on Amazon here, okay, it started off at around 180. It went all the way down to 160 in the summer, and then it went all the way up to 240. Now it's down again on a dip. If you short-term traded this, that's great. If you know how to short this, that's perfectly fine. If you know when to sell, if you know when to buy, that is good on you. I put my hat off to you. If you can do that, that is great. But most people don't. Most people don't. So why am I saying this? Well, if you go on to the 5 years on Amazon, you would have made 107% on your money. That means you would have earned your money that you put in back, doubled your money. If you would have put in 10 grand, you would have won 10 grand in profit if you cash out. What I'm trying to say here is if you short-term traders get burnt, why do they get burnt? Because something like Amazon, you would never thought that the Russian war in Ukraine would have happened. So when that happened, the bear market started and it went from 183 all the way down to 83. So unless you're short in that and you know that's going to happen, if you're long in that for the short-term gains, you're losing your money every day, every day, every day, every day. So at the end of the day, it's not the best strategy to have. Even if you look at this chart and you look at the stock ever since it's been public, I mean, it's just amazing numbers. It's just silly numbers. Absolutely silly numbers. One else I wanted to look at that I'm very bullish about at the moment is Palantir. Palantir is one of my favorite companies at the moment. So let's look at the year. The year on Palantir. The year, 271% on the year. So you've not only made your money back, so you've doubled your money, you've tripled your money. 300%. Nearly 300% on this company. That is how good they've became. It's absolutely amazing. This is the type of stuff that for me, the fact that you get in early on these companies, this is what makes it amazing. If you manage to get in early on these companies and you hold long term, 1 year isn't that long. It is not that long. If you go back 5 years on this company, you hold for 5 years, you hold it out, go through all the volatility, go through all the rubbish you have to go through. 823%. Not many people had Palantir here. I don't believe anyone or very few people had Palantir back in 2021. No one probably heard of Palantir. But imagine getting into one of the stocks like I showed you earlier. Imagine getting into this QBTS when it's at this price here, $1. Even now it's at 8. Imagine if quantum computing actually manages to skyrocket and to make something. I'll give you another one. Rocket Lab. They've just had a launch today. They've just launched their new Neutron rocket today. Look at year on Rocket Lab. It's up 400%. 400%. And it kept going up until this sell-off. Anything under this $20 mark is where you have to buy this sort of stock. Because that's where the stock you can get all your money from. If this goes up to $100, you 5x your money. You've made your money back 5 times. You put $200 in it, you've made $1,000. That's what I have to say about it. I think long-term investing is definitely the way to go. I think it is the only way to make solid money from years to come. When you buy a stock, you have to ask yourself, is this stock good for my long-term plan? If it is, then that's great. If it's not, then maybe rethink it. Maybe get another stock. Some people love speculative stocks. I love them. People don't. Some people buy bonds. Some people go into gold, commodities. Some people want to get the blue chip stocks like the Amazons, the Teslas, the Nvidias. They want the big stocks. They want that security. Some people don't. Some people look at meme coins, for example, in crypto. Some people look at speculative stocks. But the good thing is, when you do your research on these stocks, that is where you earn the money. When you do the research on it and you actually interest yourself on what this company is doing, you interest yourself on what the CEO is like. How do they run their company? How long have they been around for? You have to invest your time, not just your money, your time into these companies to make sure you know, for one, what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what is their long-term project. That is all I have to say for today. I think that um, let me know in the comments what you think. Are you more of a short-term trader? Because I know loads of people that short-term trade and they earn money. That's perfectly fine. Um, but I do think long-term investing is the way to earn the most money. Let's just say it like that. Let me know in the comments what you think and what you do normally. Do you do short-term trading or are you a long-term investor? Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. And I'll see you guys very soon on a new video. Peace.